Hi guys, I'm a few minutes early. I'm just doing a test. Well, no, I'm not. I guess I'm going live, right? So, how is everybody doing? I have to tell you, my phone has been blowing up since the whole impeachment thing. Everybody's wanting to know if the world is ending and what's going on. And I have to admit that my channeled message is kind of calling all light workers. Spirit calls it the emergence of the light. And I'm just checking real quick here because I was uploading my most recent pick-a-pile, and I believe it's done. I just want to make it public while we're waiting. I'm like way early, guys. I thought it was later than what it is. So if there's anybody out there, hi. Hi, Beck. Everybody just come in and say hello for me, will you? Let me know you're here. I'm dropping the most recent recording. Yes, I did, Jess. I'm dropping my most recent. I made this today. I can't talk, walk, and chew bubble gum at the same time. So now it's published. And so, guys, this most recent pick-a-pile I did is where am I on my ascension? And that video inspired me. That's where the whole channeled message came from. I'm not going to give away which pile it was, but you're going to want to check it out. That's all I'm saying. See where you are on your spiritual journey and drop in the comments and let me know which pile you picked. No cheating, okay? So tonight is going to be our moon ritual like we always do. I would like to put a little more focus on the earth, the fifth dimension that we're trying to create, right? Most of you that watch my channel are on this ascension journey. You have been for a while now. Hi, Dory. Hi, Amber. I haven't heard from you in a while. Hi, Shauna. I got your PayPal. You're going to be my first read in the third live. I have to tell you, there's some shenanigans going on with the internet. It took forever for my video that I made early this morning to upload. So I'm hoping that the internet, goblins will not cause any trouble with our I got to turn this light down. I can't see you guys at all. It's like shining right in my face. But I'm really hoping, oh, that's too much, that the feed doesn't get dropped because we're breaking it down into smaller versions, right? Well, in 3 different ones. So anyhow, how's everybody doing? You're in, oh, okay. Beck says she's in Australia and it's Thursday, 11:20 a.m. You're talking to me from the future. Ooh. Hi, Brian. How are you? And Jackie. Let's see. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? I know I look stupid. I got my nose all up in your guys' business, but I am blind as a bat, guys. I'm hoping these new crystalline bodies that we are manifesting in the future comes with a brand new pair of eyes for me. Do I think that all that watch my videos are on the ascension journey? I'm going to be honest. I can't answer that. Only you can. But I can tell you this, that occasionally Rich Lop and a few other of the bigger YouTube tarot readers will drop my name and refer me. And when they do that, my subscribers will grow like really a lot. And then it's like throwing mud at a wall. It's like, the ones that stick forever. They're ready for me. They're ready for that 5th dimensional reading, that ascension knowledge, right? And then there are some that just fall away because the readings that I do not resonate with them. It's like separating the wheat from the chaff. So you have to ask yourself, do you think you're on the ascension journey, and have you had an awakening? Have you gone through a dark night of the soul? What, Jesse? Please stop yelling. I started my live feed. I'm going to close the door here, guys. Give me a second. Go. You know, Jesse, if you love me, you'd make me a cup of tea. The water wasn't hot enough when I started. All right, I'm going to close the door. Jesse's playing on his new Nintendo Switch. And I've got a water now. We still got some time. We've got a couple of minutes here. So Jackie, if you've had an awakening, that's the beginning of the journey. A matter of fact, my whole channeling tonight is kind of centered around my awakening. And because, you know, I can only teach from my experience. I'm on the same journey you are. And so I feel like I go maybe a little bit ahead, but I'm not alone. There are many of my viewers who are my tribe. I mean, you're all my tribe, but there are some that I met way back in the beginning when I first opened my channel. And we have done this ascension together. And so, yeah, I do think if you've had your awakening, you're probably on the ascension path. But I have to tell you, those who are just now waking up are going to be awakened abruptly. So prepare yourself, ground yourself, be ready for your belief systems to be challenged and your reality to kind of be a little challenged. That too will come out in the channeled message tonight. I'm hoping each and every one of you drop me a like. We're 10 people in the room. We are a little early. That's pretty good turnout for being early. So drop me a thumbs up if you would. Let's get everybody on board. This, guys, I have a little tiny platform, and Spirit has been guiding me to move on to some unconventional platforms. I'm not prepared for that because I haven't done my research, you know. But there's new platforms that are called like NewTube instead of YouTube. It's NEWTUBE. I was divinely guided to that one. I've been checking that out. There's some that I've researched myself that I've kind of, it smells fishy to me, like BitChute. There's a couple of them that I just, my intuition says, no, don't go there. But I do have a feeling that with this impeachment and with the infringement of people's rights to talk about, I mean, we're censored. I'm censored. I'm not censored. I'm just here to tell you I'm going to give you whatever channeled messages that I get. And if YouTube kind of gives me a strike or demonetizes me or whatever, I don't care. We will move to another forum because I'm not here for the money and I'm not here for the glory. I'm here to guide and lead the collective on the awakening. Yes, grounding. I'm telling you, I have some very close friends who are deeply invested in the outcome of what's playing out in the 3D matrix right now. And I have so much compassion for them. But right now is not a time to take a blue pill or a red pill. It really isn't, because we are light warriors. We are light workers. We are ground crew. You know, we're here to watch the thing fall apart so that we can be part of the rebuilding. We are creating the future. And so if you find yourself enraged, you know what all those low vibrational feelings are, right? Like anger, rage, fear. Fear is a big one. it feels like the matrix is literally like shifting sand right now. One day, it depends on what news media you're watching, but one day it feels like everything's nice and firm under you, and the next day everything's just shifting right out from under you. And it's like, your emotions are here and then your emotions are there. And so a grounding cord is very, very important. And I would say that, I'm not here to tell anybody what their mission work is or what they're supposed to be doing. That I'm here to teach you to do your shadow work, and to heal your trauma wounds and to learn to manifest. And I've been teaching since the inception of my channel that we were first, you experience the catalyst, whether, no matter what it is, whether it's a twin flame journey, a person or a situation or a religious belief. Everybody, all the light workers had a catalyst. Okay. It's the awakening. It's like the aha moment when you kind of start, the veil thins and you start seeing things and recognizing things and knowing things that you, and the blinders come off, and the stupor that you've been walking around in is now kind of feeling a little bit silly, like you're feeling like, wow, did I really fall for that? Did I really believe that? And I'm not picking sides here, guys. I'm not. I swear to God, I'm not. I was told to go up, up, up into the 5D and to hold the frequency of unconditional love. And so, please, no political disputes or conversations in the forum or the chat room. We are here to be the physical embodiment of Christ consciousness. Okay, we are who we've been waiting for, and the time is now. The time is now. The time is now. So I'm kind of getting preachy. I'm getting into the. There's my dude. Hey, Stewie, how you doing? Debbie, hi, Debbie. Yes. Since you're here, Deb, I love you so much for being here. Could you please keep it nice in the chat room tonight, just on the in case, because the whole red versus blue thing, it's really, really disruptive in social media, and I don't want it to bleed into our conversations. We are not here to we're not here to reinforce that. We are here to lead the future into something better. All right. Kiss that little baby for me, Deb. All right. So we've only got 14 people in the room, but I'm here to tell you I don't know what you guys, let me know. How has your internet been where you're at? My sister works in a bank, and she said that the internet went down and nobody could get any money out of the ATMs today. Where have we heard that might be a possibility? Just saying. Hopefully it's temporary. I mean, I don't know. I didn't ask. I stay out of the mainstream media. I don't listen. I don't watch. Spirit drops it in my lap. I'm only supposed to know the basics. To be aware, but not invested. I feel personally, I don't know how you guys feel, but the last couple of months for me, I kind of feel like an actor in a play, and I'm observing. I'm an observer of what is going on, but I am not invested in any of the drama. I don't know who's going to win. I don't know, who's working for the light, who's working for the dark. I have intuitive hits. I got a pretty good idea, but it's nothing that I would try to convince anybody else of, because we are a free will planet. We are powerful, conscious creators. And those who are not conscious, those who are still asleep in the matrix, they're going to wake up abruptly. We were given, everybody on the entire planet was given the opportunity to awaken and start a journey. before they call it the event. It's the shift in consciousness. And a lot of people avoided that call. And that's not me judging. I mean, everybody has free will. And look, my nose is itching. So no judgment here. Everybody gets to ascend. Everybody. The planet itself is ascending. And so if a soul chooses not to ascend, they're going to exit. They're going to get sick. They're going to have mental illness and commit suicide, or they're going to, maybe they planned it before they ever came here. They'll be in an accident, or who knows. But there are some souls that, resisted the shift. And there are souls like us who said, I'm in. I will be a harvester. I will be a seed planter. I will be a light warrior. I will create the rainbow bridge. I will help Gaia ascend. I'm all in. And we are, the chosen, and not chosen because we're better than, chosen because we're on board. Quite frankly, we chose with our free will to be here and to help this transition. So I have a feeling, hold on, that those who are still deeply resistant to the light, for whatever reason, whatever their shadows are, their fears that they've had a hard time facing, I have a feeling that they're going to get a 2x4 upside the head, because the event is happening. It's not something that happens in the blink of an eye. It's not like, you're here and then you're there. It's a spiral. It's an upward spiral, right? Dimensions, vibration. And so timelines, they don't really exist. You choose vibrationally where you want to be in all of this. Hi, Brian. Jesse is in. Can't you hear him in the other room? He's playing on his Nintendo Switch. He's got earphones on. He shouts at the people like he thinks they can't hear him, but they can. Yes, Beck, me too. I'll tell you, I had a friend message me just as I was pulling out of the driveway to go pick Jesse up from he was at his dad's visiting, and then he went to my sister's. But she was alarmed because the president got impeached, and she fell right into the fear of, that shifting sand. Everything just kind of like quicksand, right? And I felt bad because I didn't have time to calm her down or help her to ground and center. But she's a Cancer. She's got it. I mean, she'll be fine. I asked her to watch tonight's live, so maybe she'll show up. I haven't seen her yet. But so I only want this live to go for about an hour. So I'm going to try to stay on task. Guys, we got 20 people in the room and 10 thumbs up. YouTube changed their algorithm, and little tiny channels like ours are not even going to get an opportunity to be shown to the collective unless we participate. Active participation. Okay. Honestly, I'm not here for the money. Yes, the money supports me and my child, and I am grateful for it. I quit my job to do this, right? But I have a mission, and I would go in debt to do this. So, support me, don't support me, but please support the message. Okay? Support the message. Get that message out there. All right. So, tonight we're going to do our manifestation. I'm doing an abundance candle, a protection candle, and a heart-centered candle. Okay? Because just now, some of you are on the twin flame journey and others of you aren't, but just an update. I was another friend of mine who is a light worker had a download and was told that he believes, I didn't get this download, he did, but he believes that Pisces and Virgos, a lot of them are coming into the beginning of sacred union. Okay. Okay? Because it's a matter of coming together. It's also once you come together, it's still a journey. It's not like, you're there. Woo woo. No, you can fall out of alignment, you fall back into alignment. But the first waves, I think, are really, really stepping up their game and coming close to union. And so because of that, we need that, okay? Because we are and hold the template of unconditional love. We're the new operating system. And so it's imperative that the twins energies are activated and online, on mission, whether it's in separation or together, because we do have free will. However, shit's going down, guys. I'm excited. I fell into a moment of fear simply because as much as I try not to be invested, my human self does kind of have a preference. But I keep going back to neutral. It's like, I want who I want because I know who I don't want in the White House. But spirit keeps bringing me right back to 0.0 energy neutrality. It's like, whatever happens, we are going to be the ones. It's like a lot of people, well, we'll get there. Okay. I'm channeling for you already. It's just coming in, but let's do our ritual. Okay. I would like to focus tonight on love for the planet. Okay, guys. Yeah, private, personal, manifestations, what we want to achieve in the next month or maybe in the next year. It's a lunar cycle. So, a lot of times I stick to a 30-day manifestation. Other times I go big, I go large, and I think this is one of those times we need to go large. We need to be manifesting for Gaia. We need to be manifesting for the human race. We need to be not China, not division, but unified as one race, right? The human race. We are creator beings from a creator race, from the original creator. And we need to be manifesting peace and love and stability and honesty and integrity and peace. Did I say peace? Yeah, I think I said peace. So guys, I'm going to start by carving into my candles. If you brought candles, join in. Otherwise, I'm going to set my intention that all of us are included in my ritual. I am definitely writing protection. We're going to need protection because, there are ears listening. And I apologize if you hear my phone dinging through the whole thing, but a lot of my people, my three waves are struggling right now. Because there are those of us who've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt and the beer koozie. And then there's those that are just now starting their journey. And this is coming as a very big surprise to them. Okay. So I wrote protection on my black candle. I am writing abundance. And I am writing what you guys do, but I always, since I've discovered the power of I draw the Vesica Pisces on my candle. And then I say, and that's not just twin flame union, that is the one, back to understanding that we are all fractals of prime creator. All right, so I wrote union and then I'm writing unconditional. Personally, am here to create. Sorry, guys. My son's out there jamming now. And you know what? I'm not going to spend any energy yelling. He's entertaining himself. Okay, so I have essential oils. And this one is called Love. And of course, I'm going to lather some of that on my love candle. And then I'm going to put love on my abundance candle too, because, love makes the world go round, not money. But money helps. All right. So it looks like we're going to be a small group tonight, and I don't mind a bit because those who are meant to hear it will find it, whether it's the recorded version later or if it is now live, right? So this one, again, if you've been here before, you know the drill. There are times when I think, the rituals that I do for myself are much, much more in depth and much, much more ritual like. But keep it simple for you guys because a lot of people aren't used to manifesting and using the moon cycles to do that. And so if I make it too complicated, I'm afraid that people will just like fade away. So as we grow together, we can beef it up and make it a little bit more than what it is. So, all right, let me see. I got to. All right. Talk amongst yourself. Be nice. I'm just melting the wax here to make it stand up. Okay, 1 down, 2 to go. Sometimes I bind my candles together, but I didn't feel called to do that. I don't know why, but I didn't. You can do whatever you're called to do. Your intuition is your best guide when it comes to ritual because all it is intention. Remember, we're powerful, conscious creators. We create with our focused thought, with our focused attention, with intention, and you marry it with emotion, energy, and motion, and faith, and rock that shit, guys. And never, ever try to manifest anything that can cause or create harm to others. All right, now I am setting my intention that we are clearing and creating sacred space. At least the music he's listening to is good music out there. Palo Santo takes a long time to get to start burning. All right, dear Mother, Father, God, I'm going to do an incantation with you guys, okay? Dear Mother, Father, God, we call you into this space and ask you to bless it, sanctify it, create the light, a circle of white light of love and protection around us. Part the veil from this side to the other. So if there are any ancestors or angels or spirit that would like to come in and give clear, concise channeled messages, only those of love and light and the highest and best of all, then we welcome you. We call in our ancestors. We call in ascended masters and the angels. We call in Prime Creator, Mother, Father, God. We call in the soul pieces of ourselves that are in all dimensions across all timelines. And we're going to set our intentions tonight to manifest a better world, personally and collectively. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, guys, get your paper out. Write down. I'm going to ask you if you feel called to make a few entries that we all make. If you feel called, because all of us write on our manifestations. There's my cat climbing under the door. Okay, manifesting. And I'm such a Virgo. I put 1 with a dot, like spirit really needs me to number them, right? Okay, but I want world awakening, and stabilization. And peace. Creating into the highest and best timelines. Now, you guys don't have to write that, but that's what I feel called to write. All right. And then I also am adding on here abundance for everybody, not just self, abundance for collective. Guys, we're going to have to create our abundance through our gifts and talents. It's time for you to figure out what those are. Okay. Abundance for self and collective. And I am personally manifesting, and I write it as an affirmation. Well, first of all, I'm writing union with self and union with my twin. Now, not everybody out there has a twin, so you don't have to write that. But for those of you who believe you do, you might want to be manifesting that. Okay, and then I'm manifesting personally mission expansion. And if you're not on mission, or maybe you are and you just don't know that you are, then just write down manifesting my spiritual mission. Okay. And then I affirm by saying, I am, those are powerful words, guys. I am a powerful, conscious creator, co-creating with the divine source. My highest and best. And this time I'm writing timeline and life. I usually just say life, but I'm being called, I don't know why, but I want to manifest my highest and best timeline. Shoot for the stars, guys. Shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Somebody, I don't remember which one of the viewers sent me that last time. I couldn't remember what that was. So when you're ready, I twist mine up loosely, and I'm going to light my candles. Now, because we are ending the live feed after the channeled message, these candles may not be burnt down completely, but I am going to let them burn during all 3 of my lives tonight. So I am sending this with love and intention to the spirit realm to be heard, considered, and granted. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that sucker went up fast. If you don't twist it too tight, it will burn really quick. Okay, guys, drop a thumbs up if you haven't yet. Please, please, please. We are here to change the world, right? One consciousness at a time. My sage caught on fire. And I like sage, but it's a big bundle. I don't want the whole thing burning the whole time we're in the live. Okay, so how are you guys doing out there? How's everybody doing? I haven't been watching. You've heard, okay, Stephanie says, I've heard The Law of One is a good book. Yes, very good book. So you guys are talking amongst yourself. That's wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys do your thing, but pay attention because now we're getting to the channeled message. Okay, I didn't write everything down because Spirit told me to kind of tell my story. We have about a half an hour to do the channeled message, and then I'm going to end this live stream, and then immediately start a second live stream where I'm going to do a collective tarot reading for the whole collective, anybody that tunes in and watches. And I'm going to do a tarot reading for twin flames in that hour. May not even take an hour. I'm not, however long it takes, but we're or less. And then my third, I'm going to end that live stream and immediately start another one where anybody that would like to give a super chat donation of $15. And if you're wondering why I raised my price, I'm learning to love myself, guys. I looked back over all of my live streams, and 90+% of you always donated in the super chat more than $10. And it took a very, very special friend of mine to bring it to my attention that I was undervaluing my gifts. And quite frankly, I'd give them away for free. Kind of the kind of girl I am. People pay for an hour reading, get a 5-hour reading sometimes out of me. I'm just here to save the world, right? But I raised my price because I want to show all of you, myself, that I value my gifts that God gave me, and that I'm good at what I do, and I'm worth $15. I mean, my normal readings are $50, so you're saving quite a bit. So anyhow, the third live stream will be energy check-ins and questions for anybody that wants one. And it'll be $15 in a super chat, or you can slide on over, because I brought my phone in, to PayPal, and you can pay through PayPal, and I can catch you there. But you need to make sure you write in your payment in the thing what your question is. All right, enough of that. Let's get into the channeled message. And so Spirit wanted me to title this Emergence of the Light. And this was divinely inspired by today's Pick a Pile reading. So when we're done with all of our fun tonight, if you're not too tired, slide on over to my channel and select a pile and see if you get the pile that inspired tonight's channeled message. So the emergence of the light is what is happening right now. It's been happening, quite frankly, for a long time. But like, this is intense energies, guys. It's like blinding light. It's like coming in, and things are going to change so drastically, so quickly, that you just, if you're not sending grounding cords into Gaia, you might find yourself extremely stressed and in fear. So, be the light, choose the light, guys. Make sure you're grounding yourself and come back to that love. Back to love needs to be this month's mantra for you. Back to love, back to love, back to love. Don't argue with the lefts. Don't argue with the rights. Don't engage with the chaos. Be there to help your friends and your family whose reality is about to be challenged, okay? Be the light. All right, so tonight's channeled message is, I already said that. As I was channeling in the reading, I won't say which pile in case you guys haven't watched it yet, but one pile in particular really, and I do mean really, resonated with me. And my own personal ascension journey and my own awakening. So I was activated. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey because this might help you, my viewers, to figure out where you're at on your journey. Unless you're farther along than me. But even then, knowing my story, you'll know if you're farther along than me because I did that last year or whatever. So I'm going to share some of my story with you. And I don't always do this, but I'm going to. So um, when I was activated, okay, now I want to specify, you have your awakening, okay? And that can happen at the age of 4, and you could be working on that an entire lifetime. But for me personally, I mean, I was born gifted. I was a psychic medium. I could see and hear dead people, and I knew things I shouldn't know, and I dreamt things that would come true. And it was intense because I was raised in an extremely Christian background, where that is satanic in nature. It's demonic. It's not of the light. It's not, the way, whatever. And I was deeply programmed in that. And so I spent most of my life trying to pray it away or trying to drink it away, because I did find that alcohol seemed to shut my gifts down. And so I'm not going to go real deep in, but I will tell you that most of my life was a struggle because I was kind of the unicorn in the family. My family loved me and supported me always, never judged me, never, but they didn't always believe me either. They always thought I was a little woo, woo, woo. And, but that's okay. They still loved me. They never judged me. It was a beautiful, I never had any trouble that way. But friends and school friends and stuff like that, they questioned my sanity at times. But most people just chucked it up to Tracy's different, but they always liked me. I wasn't bullied. I never had any trouble. I fit in with all the cliques, the jocks, the burnouts, the cheerleading squad, or the baseball team, or, the girls, the boys, the crick rats. I really did kind of get along with everybody. But for me, personal for me. It was very personal. I wanted to serve God. I wanted to be that Christian, that fundamental Christian that never questioned God's authority, never questioned the Bible, never questioned. However, I had a lot of cognitive dissonance inside of me, a lot, because I would sit and listen to the preacher preach, and in my soul, I disagreed. And that scared me because I thought then, well, do I have demons? Am I evil? And so, we're going to fast forward past that because that was a pretty intense time in my life. But as a young adult, actually a teenager, I discovered that alcohol, first time I ever got drunk, I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. Like everything's shut down. I could be around people, and I didn't feel their emotions. I didn't know their thoughts. I wasn't like that octopus that was always in their energy, or they were in mine. And that felt great. That felt really great. And so it didn't take long at all for me to develop a drinking habit. I don't believe I was an alcoholic for many years. It was a drinking habit. And but then as I got into my 20s, it got out of control, and I became a drunk. I'm just going to say it for what it is. I became a drunk, and a sloppy drunk at that. Not sloppy drunk, but like I was very low vibrational. I loved to fight, guys. I loved to fight. I had earned a reputation for being a badass, and I loved to fight. I don't know why. I just did. I felt a lot of aggression and anger inside of me because I felt like I wanted to be God's child. I wanted to be pure. I wanted to be good. I just wanted to be good. But I never felt like in the society I was raised in, that my gift or abilities were good. They were demonized. And so anyhow, fast forward. So I've gone through many what I call reformations of Tracy, right? Many changes in my life where I had recreated my belief system shifted. And so I was awakened. I was awakening. I met a very dear friend, and she had a metaphysical jewelry store. And, I was afraid. The first time I walked in, it creeped me out. I'm like, oh my God, there's spell candles. There's intention books. There's, witch stuff. There's jewelry that's made with crystals and an intention. And I don't know, it was crazy. But I felt like I had found my tribe. I felt like I had come home. It was like a remembering of other lifetimes where that was my reality. That was who I was. And so, my friend, it took a long time for her to convince me that I was gifted and that I should embrace those gifts. And, eventually I started very small, doing readings in the back room, and, her psychic fairs that she would have. And so it developed, let's put it that way. My gifts started developing, my belief system changing. I joined a meditation circle, and boy, when I meditate, things would come in. And so, well, what I forgot to tell you was that around the age of, let me see if I do the math. I was about 22, 23, 24. I don't know. I don't remember. But anyhow, I quit drinking. I had been living in Annapolis, Maryland, and I had a degree in developmental psychology, and I got into a nanny agency that catered to upper class senators, and it was DC, Maryland, New Jersey, Fairfax, Virginia. It was, anyhow, the people that hired me to become their nanny paid well and was very educated and higher classed. I hate saying that, but let's just say they were in a different dimension, timeline than I was accustomed to. And so I was drinking really heavily at that time, and I purchased my own karaoke equipment. And so I was being a nanny Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, I was DJing, I was partying, I was loose as a long neck goose. I mean, I was not a good person. Well, I was, but I wasn't acting it. And so I did end up quitting drinking. It was 26 years ago on New Year's Eve this year. And I left the nanny stuff, moved in with my sister in South Carolina, and I wanted to quit drinking really bad. And nobody believed I had a drinking problem but me, which was really weird because I guess I never looked sloppy drunk, but I felt sloppy drunk. I was the person everybody wanted to drive them home because they didn't think I was drunk. But the next day, I didn't remember driving anybody home. So we're going to fast forward again. I quit drinking in South Carolina 26 years ago. I gave up smoking cigarettes. I went back to school, got a different degree. I've got many degrees, some big, some small. Certifications. My mom would joke and say, don't drop Tracy off anywhere near a school or a library. She will come home with more titles behind her name. I was like a lifelong student. I loved learning things. Still do, by the way. Don't need certifications anymore. I certify myself, right? But so anyhow, I'm going to fast forward because Spirit wants me to talk about that was my awakening. Okay. Awakening is a very slow process for some people, and for others, it's a very quick one. But I ended up getting married. I was married for 20 years. We adopted 4 children together. The first 3 were siblings. They had been separated in foster care and hadn't seen each other in so many, in over a year and a half. They were 2, 4, and 6. 6-year-old remembered the 4 and the 2-year-old, but the 4-year-old did not remember the 2-year-old, and the 2-year-old did not remember any of them. And so we decided, my ex-husband and I, to adopt the children, which started a different chapter in my spiritual work. I believe that was part of my mission. You know, we were supposed to give these children a different life, a different life, a better life, hopefully. I don't know, because parenting's hard, and I'm sure I failed in a lot of areas and I did well in others. But anyhow, our marriage was beautiful. Our friendship still is, but our marriage fell apart about 10 years into the 20-year marriage. And we were together but separate, you know, and there was no touching, no kissing, no intimacy. And I became very depressed. I started overeating. I ate myself up to 327 pounds. And so, you know, I'm telling you guys all of this because the awakening is slow, okay? For me, it was in stages. Okay, so I'm not going to put you through all of that. Let's just say Spirit was squeezing me because I was unhappy. I was not growing. I was not thriving. I was like a plant that had been forgotten, that hadn't seen the light of day, that hadn't received any love or nourishment or water in a long time. And so for me personally, my life shifted severely. My sister Tammy, who was healthy one day, the very next day, was collapsed, and she was life flighted to the hospital in Ohio. And they said she had caught MRSA, pneumonia, in her lungs. And so within about 70 hours, she passed over. Very, very, very mystically, a lot of synchronicities happened during that time. It was snowing. It was around Thanksgiving. And big, heavy, wet snowflakes coming down outside the hospital window. She was in ICU. She was packed in ice at first to bring her temperature down. And it was tough, guys. She became necrotic. Her nose was turning black, her ears, her feet. They were using vasopressors to bring all the blood flow to her core to try and keep her from dying. And while she was lying there dying, my mother was in Pennsylvania, about an hour and a half to an hour 45 minutes away from where my sister was in the hospital. And she had Whipple surgery, duodenal cancer. She had it removed, and she developed a infection, became septic. And so a lot of mystical stuff happened to me during this time, okay? And my sister, so I was giving my sister Reiki was when she took her last breath, and an owl flew up to the window and looked me right in the eyes, and I knew she was going. And so we had to leave that hospital after my sister passed, in literally as I was gripping her bare toes. My dad and my other sister and I, we got in the car and we had to go to the other hospital because we had to break it to my mother, who was on dialysis and extremely sick from sepsis. And so we called ahead and asked the nurse to give her some kind of a nerve pill or something because we had bad news. And when we got there, a very dear friend of the family was with my mom. I knew Tammy was, but we come into the room and we're getting ready. Jess, you're using too much data. Sorry, guys. He's jamming, and it's jamming up the logs here. So anyhow, I don't want to go over an hour. So I'm just going to say it was tough times. Someday I will do a blog type thing and tell you guys, all of the very spiritual stuff that happened to me when my mom was sick. I mean, literally, I watched a young man who tried to commit suicide, that they were about to unplug. His soul came to me and said to tell his mom to wait 2 weeks and he would come back from the dead. Basically, he was in a coma. And I told her that, and she refused to pull the plug in spite of her family, who was very angry, thought she was being selfish by making him stay on life support. And within 2 weeks, he awoke, guys. He awoke. He'll never be the same, but he awoke, and he's living a good life. So anyhow, we will fast forward again to that was my awakening. It happened very gradually, right? My gifts became stronger. I had more and more supernatural occurrences happen for me. And then my mom passed away 7 months after my sister did. She was cancer-free. It was not cancer that took her life. It was the complications of having become septic 3 times. And Spirit told me what was wrong, and I told the doctors, but because I couldn't get the word right, sometimes I blame myself, but I've been healing that. I kept hearing Fisher. I talked to the doctor. I said, listen, my spirit guides are telling me what's wrong. If you could just figure it out, she wouldn't be septic, she would heal. And so it turned out to be a fistula, which she had her bowels were leaking into the wall cavity of her stomach and creating the sepsis, the infection. So they eventually found it and they got it under control, and she was on the mend, but she had lost so much function that, she couldn't recover from it. And she chose, with her free will, I believe, to not live a life of being incapacitated. So this was my dark night of the soul. It's the only reason why I'm sharing it with you, because most people who are on the ascension, they must go through this dark night of the soul, because we are so programmed in whatever religion, whatever belief system, whatever we've been taught our whole life. It has to change in order to ascend. We have to release those belief systems. And so Spirit really challenged in my Christianity faith. And so, I lost my mom, lost my sister, my marriage was a wreck, my body was a wreck. I ended up messing my shoulder up, a detached bicep and a torn rotator cuff, and I had to have surgery. And the surgery acted for me like COVID has been acting for other people. It forced me to become a hermit. I couldn't bathe myself. I couldn't sleep in a bed. I had to sleep sitting up, propped up in a lazy boy chair or reclining couch. I couldn't comb my own hair. I couldn't put it in a ponytail. I couldn't dress myself. I was literally like 4 months maybe 2 or 3 months. I don't remember. In a hospital gown, because it was all I could put on myself and take off of myself. And it was tough times. And so that was 2017, we had the blue moon, and it was a blood moon, and it was an eclipse, and it was like profound energies. 0 point, all the planets lined up to 0.0 energy. It was crazy. And I was up in my reading room. And those of you who have been with me since the beginning, you'll remember that little room where I did things, and I had this little, it looks like we might go over a little bit, guys. But anyhow, I'm going to try to speed it up. That's when, during that moon, it was like I made the shift. I don't know what happened. It was like my crown chakra blew wide open. I connected to my soul star chakra. I started hearing voices again. I started channeling and doing automatic writing. I was told I had a mission. I wasn't given a lot of details at that time. I was told that I was an oracle that was going to help 3 waves of workers and twin. Didn't say twin flames. They said twins in my head. I did not know what a twin flame was. I had no idea. None. Completely asleep to the twin. Are we okay, guys? Jesse! You're messing my live up! I don't even know if he can hear me. He's got earphones in. You're messing my live feed up, honey. You're taking too much of the internet. Oh, I don't know, but it's messing it up. Hi, guys. Sorry. Anyhow, so I went through this night of the soul, and all of a sudden I decided, okay, smart me. I'm up here in my room and I'm divinating and I'm getting downloads and I'm being voices are talking in my head. I think I'm crazy. I'm told that I'm an oracle that's going to help 3 waves of ascending souls, twins, come into union and to basically be on the ascent, which I didn't know what that was, had no clue. Verbiage I had never heard, never, had no clue. I was told that there would be a young man who, because I questioned, I was like, how am I going to find these people, these 3 waves? And Spirit said a young man would help lead them to me, and that Spirit would divinely guide them to me. I didn't have to go look for them. And shortly after that, I fell down. Now I'm going to go back to my notes here because that was when my next wave, I guess you would call it, of awakening, my real strong, blew the top of my head off awakening. And so I was activated, I call it, during blue moon, full moon. I've got a tattoo in honor of it. Someday I'll get close and show you that. And it was literally like the phoenix rising, right? And so I was a hermit, just like you guys. Some of you guys had to become the hermit during this COVID, right? So Spirit, I got quiet. And when I got quiet, I started hearing and I started listening. And so I started falling down rabbit holes. I didn't even know YouTube. I knew what it was, but I had never used it. And I don't know how it began, but I was being divinely guided. It's like somebody referred me and check out this video. And I checked out the video, and then that video led to another video, which led to another video. And before you knew it, I was learning about Pizzagate and the Wiener laptop drops and the emails on Hillary Clinton's laptop and like, I don't know, like, I'm not saying any of that's true. I'm just saying the conspiracy theories became my main diet. And I started questioning for the first time, really, truly, honestly questioning everything. And I started learning about the Mandela effect. And the one that got me was, Queen, we are the champions. And it always ended in my timeline of the world. In this timeline, it just ends. It says, we are the champions. Boom, we're done. Pack up your microphones. The song's over. And then another one that really affected me was I was deeply steeped in Christianity. I'm an ordained minister. I taught Sunday school. I sat on sessions. I was the secretary of our small little Presbyterian church. And I sang in the choir. You name it, guys. I was a deacon. I served the communion. I did thing. Okay. And so I remember as a Sunday school teacher printing out the lion and the lamb, Daniel. I don't remember exactly what verse, but it's in Daniel. And one of the Mandela effects is it no longer says that the lion, in the end of days, the lion will lay with the lamb. Now it says that the wolf will lay with the sheep. And another thing that didn't exist in my timeline that I grew up in was unicorns. They were not real. They did not exist. Neither did satyrs. Satyrs. Is that how you pronounce it? Now they're in the Bible. Go out. It'll blow your mind away if you haven't found it yet. But they're there. And they're not mythological creatures. They're creatures. I don't know. I don't want to go down that road because that blew me away. But anyhow, so I began questioning everything raised in. And, I found out about the Anunnakis and about, the biblical context of how the Anunnaki played a role in those timelines. And it just, there I went. Okay, I'm not gonna crack open any skulls tonight. You guys will be guided to figure out what you're guided to figure out. But for me personally, then I discovered QAnon, right? And then I became really political. I had a Democrat, and now I'm Republican, because of all the conspiracy theories. And I'm just here to tell you I'm none of those now, just so you know. I am a patriot. I love our country. I think that we have things that others would love to have, but I cannot say that I trust any of them. They're all in an elite club that we are not invited to join. And for that alone, I have mistrust around that. But this was my huge awakening. Okay, so then as I'm watching these YouTube videos, all of a sudden, this one video kept coming up, and it was Rich Lopp, and he was talking about being an Aquarius. And he talked about being homeless, living under a bridge, uploading videos from a phone that he found at McDonald's on free Wi-Fi. It was, I felt compassion for him. And when I was channeling, my spirit guide said, he's part of your mission. You need to help him. He is a light worker. And I said, I don't know this kid. I mean, never been to Maine. I don't have any money. I can't dress myself. I'm locked up in a room going crazy, hearing voices, not even sure my sanity is real. And Spirit just said, help. And so I had convinced myself I can't help. Nothing's going to come of it, So I went to visit my friend, mentioned to her, that I felt called him. She's like, yeah, let's just bring him here. And so then I can't even tell you the details of that. She brought him to Cleveland. She picked him up at the Cleveland airport. I couldn't go anywhere, guys. I'm still healing from this major surgery. And so he came and stayed with her for almost a month. And her and I were supposed to do healing work on him, but I wasn't healing as quickly as I wanted to, should have. And so, and I'm still going through this huge transformation, right? And so then one day I was feeling better. I was able to shower, able to get dressed for the first time in a long time. And she invited me to go with her and Rich to a little mini psychic fair. And she was doing readings. And Rich and I spent the entire day together. And I spent the entire day with Rich, him and I, while she did readings. And we did healing work on each other. He read tarot for me, which at that time I didn't know how to read tarot. I was a medium. And he showed me how he opened his YouTube channel. I talked to him about, wow, maybe I should do that, and I gave him a reading, and our lives have changed a lot since meeting each other. But I would like to believe that meeting each other has changed both of our lives profoundly. And a lot of my viewers are referred to me through Rich Lopp. So I have a sneaky suspicion he's the young man that Spirit was saying lead the light workers and the twin flames to me. I want to get into this, the feelings, the emotions I went through doing this awakening. It triggered my fears, my anger, my outrage, blame, shame, guilt, depression, all the lower vibrational feelings of inadequacy. How do I fit into this? How can I get involved? Especially with the adrenochrome and the underground breeding stations of children and humans, and for testing. It's dark under there, guys. It's really dark, and I didn't want to be there, and I was there. And not only was I there in waking moments, but I would have dreams that I was astrally projecting into those situations and holding the hand of small children that were being killed. And it was horrible, guys. I don't want to go there. I'm not going there. But as I'm falling down all these rabbit holes and I'm learning the YouTube stuff, and Rich, I had talked to Rich. He had talked to me about, well, you could learn to read tarot by watching other tarot readers. So I was consuming tarot readings. I didn't know how to read tarot. I was afraid of tarot most of my life. My spirit guide said it's not a learning, it's a remembering. You're going to remember how to do it. And I did. And so I was transforming, guys. I was that caterpillar in the chrysalis, and it was brutal, brutal. And so during that time, I had done some studying on algorithms. And it looks like we're going late, guys. I'm so sorry. Anyhow, I did some studying on algorithms, and I've some kind of a need or a desire. Like, I don't know what that is. I'm not interested. I click off. I'd go right past it. I wouldn't look at it, but it kept showing up and showing up. And then twin this, twin that, twin this, twin that. And so one day it just became so in my face, and Spirit said, open the damn video. I opened the video, and boom. Now that was my catalyst. I knew who my twin was. I met my twin when I was very young, and we have been in and out of each other's lives for. I've spent the last 3 years of my life going through this twin flame journey, and he was my activation. It was because of him that I found the courage and strength to have bariatric surgery and to lose, I don't know how many pounds. I mean, I was 327 pounds, and I'm under 200 now. I'm not going to tell you my weight, but I just under 200. And so all of this because of spirituality. It's not because, I was in love with him, but that was part of it. It was because I wanted to be the best version of myself that I could be. And the twin flame journey just really awakens you to your trauma wounds and your shadow work and all the broken little bits and pieces. And they trigger you in so many profound ways, and growth comes from that. And so I've been 3 years on this journey. And just recently I have found what I believe to be the first union. I have learned to choose me over him, over everybody. Not in a very self-loving way where I guard my energy, my frequency. I've learned to love unconditionally. I don't care because he's married. He's with somebody else. But you know what? I love you. You're still the other half of my soul, and I will always love you. Nobody will ever fill that space inside of me that only you can fill. And so I've gotten to compassion. I'm like, now it's his turn. He's going through that dark night of the soul, and I feel compassion for him. And I don't know if he's going to choose his own happiness. Don't know. I know he's unhappy. That's all I know. And so now we're going to go fast forward because this is where I've come to. And so now maybe you guys can gauge where you're at on this journey by what I've just shared with you. Very personal information, by the way. My channel's been around for a couple years, and it's the first time I've really talked about it that deeply. And so now we're going to fast forward to going back to the reemergence. Spirit showed us certain light workers, the ones that are the leaders, the ones that are going to learn it first, the hard way, the hardest of ways, and then teach it to others so that their way isn't quite as hard, right? And so I believe I'm amongst those. And I believe that I've come into a very good place energetically. And so during today's Pick a Pile reading, I was inspired to do the channeling because there was a card that says re-emergence, or maybe it was emergence. And it was, the artwork was this woman coming up out of the water, and water represents emotions, and she was re-emerging, and spirit showed me like the caterpillar coming out of the chrysalis with its brand new wings. And for me personally, I found this place of flow and release, and now I'm feeling weird. I'm like, what do I do next? Is it over? Am I done? What's my next move? Like, I don't feel the inspiration. I don't feel the guidance. I don't feel, because spirits kind of backed off and said, you know what? You went from being the initiate to the student to the adept, and now you got to practice what we've taught you. And we're not going to spoon feed it to you anymore. You're newborn. You've been baptized by fire, and you are re-emerging from the dark night of the soul, from the healing, the trauma wounds, the shadow work, the emotional freaking roller coaster. And I became addicted to that emotional roller coaster. It was profound and deep and spiritual, and I miss it. I'm like, okay, I'm ready for my next fix, God. Where's my next trigger? Where's my next deep dive? Where's my next? And during this pick-a-pile reading, I was shown very clearly that the time is now. I've trained lifetimes. You guys have trained lifetimes for this now moment. The world is changing. The shift is happening. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to go through that intense spiritual awakening. And it's going to be more intense for them because they didn't get 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years to do it. Their reality is about to be shattered. I'm hearing Rolling Stones. Shattered. Yeah. They're about to be shattered. And I also been channeling that song lately. Bang, bang, bang. Here we go. And so, guys, Spirit says to rest, moment of rest, and you're not going to get much of one. Rest, recover, get strong, practice, practice, practice. For those of us who have made it through, we are just now re-emerging. The time is now. Things are about to really intensify in the matrix. And the collective is about to be violently shaken awake. All heard the call many years ago, but not everybody chose it. Some turned their eyes away in fear, and they're no longer being given a choice. The shift is here, and the light workers who have made the shift will soon be called to active duty. I've had a lot of people reach out and ask for readings and say, Tracy, what's my mission? I feel like I've achieved quite a bit, and now I'm ready to be on mission. And I'm like, well, I kind of feel the same way. I feel like there's another step, like we're going somewhere else, but I don't know where. I haven't gotten my orders yet. And so Spirit showed me during this channeling that active duty is coming online right now. Some will compassionately hold the light for others who will need it because, they're in a cave for a long time. They've been in a sleep mode for a long time. They've been, and so they're going to need light to shine the way, to show the way out of the cave and to pick themselves up because their lives are about to be shattered. So others of you will be called to be healers, leaders, givers. The light is re-emerging and the darkness will flee in its brilliance. We'll soon know beyond a shadow of a doubt what our personal role and mission will be. No longer will we be wondering or asking. We will act in accordance to our gifts, talents, and abilities. Where there is a need, you will naturally gravitate. You'll just step into your role. You'll be like, oh, I can do that. And so you will be stepping into your natural calling to fill any needs that come up. We are building a better world. So be brave, my warriors, is what my spirit guide said. Be brave, my warriors of the light. Spirit has heard all your prayers, and liberation is here, beginning now, and the light has already won. Soon it will be time to rebuild. Better, stronger, smarter, from a unified consciousness, not a divided one. And we are emerging for the first time because the time is now. And so that was the way they ended the transmission. And I'm sorry it took me so long to tell you guys all of this. But I love you. I'm going to end this feed now. But for those of you that would like to join me in the next one, which I'm starting right away, I'm going to do a collective tarot reading for everybody, and then specific to the light workers and twin flames. Okay, so namaste. See you in a minute. Okay, here we go.